Imo, my state, great state, my state, land of wisdom, peace and unity. Oh Lord, my God, we cannot do.
At a time when Africa and the world is faced with a new set of complicated challenges, society is regularly in need of heroes, some of them finding their voice as leaders, advocates, or just everyday people who want to make a difference. Today, efficiently raising champions of tomorrow also means remembering the heroes of yesterday. To this end, one of the most ambitious projects of the Rocha's Okorocha administration is the Hero Square, located at the heart of Owerri, the Imo State capital. Those who know the way around the city and how it has evolved in recent years would attest to the fact that the Concord Boulevard, a serene double-lane avenue where the Juku Center and the Hero Square are located, is now a tourist attraction. The once sleepy road now buzzes with activities as fun seekers and local tourists come around to catch a glimpse of the gigantic statues erected by the state government in honor of renowned African leaders and other distinguished individuals who have excelled in their chosen areas of endeavor and have done extraordinary things for the good of their communities, the nation, and to mankind at large.
The Hero Square is my brainchild, and it is a rescue mission project. The whole idea of the Hero Square is to create a tourist center in the city capital of Owerri, having realized that most people, visitors to the state, and in fact the indigenous of the state, do not have a place to go and relax and look at things that can excite them and get in touch with nature and realities of life. So the relaxation becomes an issue, and just like in other parts of this country. So rather than having a place to relax like a park or something that's more educational, people end up in the evenings in beer parlors and all that, and the children are left out in this case. So the Heroes Square was one of the very first projects I thought out, at the city center, and it was an abandoned place for over 30 years. And it was an eyesore. Then at the right hand side of it is the cenotaph, overgrown with grasses and all that. So I stood one day, and this is quite an interesting story, and I was wondering what to do with that whole huge, over 10 hectares of land within the city center, with all the overgrown grasses and shanties and what have you. I said, listen, the best thing to do here is to create a park and create a square, which is called the Hero Square. And the word Hero Square came from that unknown soldier. The unknown soldier was just standing alone with grasses all over. There's nothing there at all when I came in the first time. And I think my predecessors only kept it clean or cut the grasses every January for the Armed Forces Members Day. After that, they just put canopies around to do the ceremony, and that's it. So I decided that, listen, something must be done. Why should we have this unknown soldier? This man must have sacrificed for his nation, for mankind. He must have served his people. And those who brought about that sculpture, and that's the story of the statue now, that's who brought about this sculpture, wouldn't have thought it right to put a shelter over this man. Maybe something that can cover him from rain and sun and this, having suffered and possibly died for the cause of his people. That was the story. And when he gets over this whole congregation, whenever they have an event there, when they finish, they still leave him there That's what a leader must do. A leader in office must never think of comfort. They must think about making sacrifices. Even when people you are governing are sleeping, you should be awake to provide security for them. But a leader is also a lonely person. Because after they come for those events, they walk out. Nobody calls him to say, are you okay? Have you eaten? So this is the story we're trying to create out of the park. Then, the same leader, who is the statue of that unknown soldier, if you look at the left, you see very comfortable houses. So we said, even when a leader is before his people, he must ignore comfort. You see the beautiful houses by the right and by the left, and by his right hand side is the Concord Hotel, and by the left hand side are mansions. Now, but he was backing something. He was backing the big bush that was undeveloped. That's why I decided to build the Heroes Villa. A true leader will always stay with the children to inspire them. That's why we have the children's park by the right hand side. And then, as you see the children's park, there's a Heroes Bridge, a very long bridge connecting that children's park to that his house. That's what is called the Heroes Bridge. And the Heroes Bridge has 3 segments: the good morning, the good afternoon, and the good evening. The good morning says your early age in life, when you are a little kid. Then the good afternoon says your adolescence, when you are now in university, you are working. This is a time we'll call you, you've come to the middle age of your life. And then in the evening of your life is when you have gotten old. And the step descending down shows you that you are going down the grave one day. So when you are climbing, you are rising. At the time you find a smooth run along the bridge with its obstacles, then you find yourself descending. Leaders who have descended well are the people whose statues are erected on those stairs. That's the story of the Imo statue. Some of them might descend it while still alive. Their statue is also erected. And those who makes the statue of Imo State are given the highest title of GCSI, Grand Chancellor State of Imo. Just like have GCFR, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic. You need to see the ceremonies. We have done some ceremonies of this nature, and many leaders have ended. For instance, Steve Johnson, the first female president in Africa. During the ceremony, you have to first of all turn the right side of this and lay a wreath to remember the fallen heroes before you. And then before you take the left side and walk into the Hall of Fame. It's a very interesting story. And last Christmas alone, we had over close to 70,000 people that visit that place, coming and going. And so it has become a big tourist attraction. And that's why also we celebrate Christmas tree and the rest of them. So the Hero Square has become something very great. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has been there, and he was quite impressed of what he saw. Recently, the President of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, also came there. He was quite impressed with what it is. But against the understanding of many Nigerians that I built statue, and I must have gone to every roundabout and put a small thing called statue. This is a historic, educational, tourism or center for the people of Imo State, and indeed the whole world. So now what we have is a struggle to make it. Everybody is struggling to have his name in that Hall of Fame. Every Imo son, all those benefits. I'm also struggling so that one day my name will be there as a hero.
Occupying their respective positions in elegance and splendor are the statues of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Nigeria's first president, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, the nation's first prime minister, Ikemba Dim Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, and the former Imo State Governor, Disam Mbakwe, among others. Beyond catching a glimpse of the statue, I am led by a team of officials on ground into the Hall of Fame and shown around. At this facility, Nigeria's history of more than 100 years ago begins at the entrance.
You're welcome to the Imo Hall of Fame. Here we have our past leaders from 1914, the colonial masters, down to Dr. Azikiwe, 1960, down to Muritala Muhammad, Obasanjo, Shagari, Buhari, down to the present President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, 1914 till date.
This one just gives us a description of what this place is all about.
Yes.
The spotlights on renowned and influential
individuals that have been honored.
Okay, so we're going into the Hall of Fame right away?
Yes.
Okay.
This is our prayer. Corruption must stop in our time. Corruption must stop. This is our prayer. Education must be free in our time. Education must be free. This is our prayer. Imo must be better in our time. Imo must.
Right here, it's all about stories of heroes on the wall, talking about only the greatest of them all. Apart from celebrating icons who have left their marks in the sand of time, the Hall of Fame is also home to some of the best works of art. Back outside the statue's pavilion, James Kalu, my tour guide for the day, brings me up to speed with some of the structures in the arena.
Where we are now, it's the Ikemba Ojukwu Center. It's called Ikemba Ojukwu Center. And within the Ikemba Ojukwu Center, you now have the Hero Square. In fact, that was the first project started and finished within 3 months. The only thing we have here in 2011 was that statue. If you look over there, at the center of the Hero Square, yes. From the Hero Square, you now have the Ikemba Ojukwu Convention Center here. This is the Ikemba Ojukwu Convention Center, just like the Yaradua Center in Abuja. It's a conference hall of about 1,000 seating capacity too. Then you also have the offices located over there. Most government appointees, like the DG you just interviewed, his office is located here. The chairman of Heartland Football Club, his office is here. The chairman of Imo State Arts and Culture, the advisor to the governor on Arts and Culture, his office. So many offices are located in here. This actually was supposed to be the governor's lodge itself. Yes, this particular structure. But the governor came and demolished everything, rebranded the whole building, and this is what it is. It's called. And before you could get in here, to even pass a night, the House of Assembly need to move a motion and also pass a law. Yes. So this whole place is all about celebration, and now that brings you down here to the Imo Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame, you can see already the status pavilion and all that. Before you are moved in here to be honored, the ceremony starts from this point. In fact, you'll be matched if you are strong enough. For those of them that have visited this place, the ones that are strong enough, they are marched in with the band. Just like,
So it's like a procession.
It's a procession, yes. You take a long walk. Actually, from this place.
This place.
Yes, you take a long walk, and it's a
But
long
before
procession to
the
this
long
point.
walk,
Yes.
it's like, will there be an event in here before the walk?
Yes, the lecture actually starts from here. This is where you'll be probably enlightened of what this place is all about. From inside, then you now move in here. And you now take a long walk to the Hall of Fame, where you'll be honored. Here we have, just like what the federal government does, GCFR. We also have that with what the governor now re-Christian the whole thing. You have, for instance, you have Grand Commander, Order of Imo State. There are so many of them lined up.
His explanation of how heroes are honored at the arena is well captured in events that played out when former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was hosted by the Imo State government.
Your Excellency, this corner, we had to shorten the proceedings. It takes like 2 hours to celebrate this. But it's this corner, it is tradition. This is some of the mysteries of the land. There's no glue, there's no camp, but they stick together as a family. So let me have the pleasure to present this one to you for being the first powerful woman president of Africa. This one will be representing the peace that we brought back in Nigeria. This will be for those poor children that you are empowering and ensuring that the go to school. And the fourth one is to tell all Liberians that we came to Imo State and we met with His Royal Majesty. There's this belief and this understanding that women should be assisted, and that women are the weaker member of society. But if you look at it, they're stronger, they're tougher. But because we have created these feelings, and it's time to catch up with even the younger ones. But see that Sirleaf Johnson made it from nothing and became a female president in Africa. That's inspiring enough for every young girl to think that one day she can make it like Sirleaf Johnson. But if she's not there, most women would think that it's not possible. So it's just a mindset thing. And so her being there is quite inspiring and to most people. And look at how the world honored her. She even made a cash, this of $5 million for being honored by one organization. Yes, Leadership Foundation. So she's a leader. She's a leader, and she has proven that what men can do, women can do, and even do better. So she was here, and after we gave her, after she unveiled her statue, there's a Sirleaf Johnson Road here in Imo State. Anyone that gets a statue level must have a road named after you.
On the day she was honored in Owerri, Ellen Sirleaf expressed great joy and appreciation to the state government for honoring her with chieftaincy title of Adadioramma, a designation that means daughter of pride to the Imo people. Many see this as another way of building bridges and international goodwill in favor of Imo State.
Gratitude and thanks because today we have a peace. And to that peace Nigeria contributed.
The story of her, the title of Adadioramma, meaning the very daughter of Africa in whom we are all very proud.
The unveiling of the Zuma statue sparked off widespread reactions in the social media space and other news platforms. The state governor, Rochas Okorocha, was criticized for honoring the former South African president who is faced with allegations of corruption back home, while being admitted into the Imo Hall of Fame and conferred with the State Merit Award.
When the issue of the statue came and Zuma came to Imo State to unveil his own statue, there was no commendation. It was all condemnation. I must tell you, because people don't understand. What you don't know is older than you in life, and it was misrepresented. Some argued, why should Zuma be given? That Zuma is facing a corrupt charge. And you have not found a man guilty and you want to jail him. You can't deny his right. But that was our concern, not that Zuma was corrupt or not corrupt. For the facts But he was able to make the level of presidency without seeing the four walls of a classroom, not even primary school. Makes him at any time a great leader. And it's something that must inspire others to follow. That's what we see about. And he did not go to school, not because he didn't want to go to school, because he was fighting for his people, the South Africans. And he ended up in jail all his life as a kid. So such are stories that people must know, that you must be brave and courageous in what you believe in. Because we don't want to teach our children coming up to be cowards and all that. You have to be courageous, and brevity must be an addition to your name. So, but as people come along and notice what we are doing, they now applaud it. If the president of Nigeria has come applauded it, and vice president have come, and so many leaders have visited the place, it's only for those who have not visited. And of course, trust the social media and what they say, when they want to say, depending on which story goes out first, the people capture it, because they think that people are very susceptible to any information that goes around. But it's a great idea. It's a legacy that will be left for many generations to come. It will keep the history of the land, because history is fast disappearing. This will keep history of events, history of people, and people that have changed lives in our society.
Others alleged that more than 500 million naira was spent on erecting the statues, while thousands of pensioners and indigenes of the state are struggling under the weight of hardship and poverty.
Nigerians are getting it wrong. The duty of every government is to provide the social amenities and infrastructures that enable the ordinary citizen cash on it and take care of their stomach infrastructure. When you go to stomach infrastructure directly, you create a beggarly situation in a society. And this is what has happened, that many governments have destroyed their people and their youth, closing their minds of creativity and creating a new mind for them to beg and depend on them. What you cannot see in Imo State since I assumed office is to see young men or women running around a big man and begging for money. You can't see that in Imo State. I govern Imo State with vision, not ambition. And so what you see play in Imo State, where you now can talk about 1,000 projects standing, will convince you that it is not ambition, it is vision at play. And if you know, the Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. But it doesn't say where there's no cash. So cash does not speak in Imo State. Vision speaks in Imo State. And so what people can do, what people cannot even fathom to do with 100 billion naira, I can do it here with less than 10 million naira, and I'll tell you how it's been done. So that's vision. When vision is applied, it requires little resources to accomplish. When ambition comes into play, then it requires all the money in the world to fulfill it.
In the course of my visits to the Hero Square, I also met with Reverend Father Jerome Okonkwo, who is a professor of applied philosophy and director, General Igbo Language Development Center, who believes the Imo Hero Square is a project for posterity.
I am aware that the national anthem has always articulated the mission of the heroes past. So this is precisely what the government of Imo State has in view, that the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Isn't it our national anthem? So based on this, I think the conception is perfectly underlined and scored. And that's where we are. I hope you may have gone over there to come over this place you see the statues of some of the heroes, both national and international, within African domain. The truth of what is here, man, is not completely told. It may be told in a remote time, what is here now. I'm using it as an allegory to put across what maybe the conception of this place is. So many may understand it and may not understand. Maybe now, but later, history is the only science that can correct the past. So based on that, I say this is a conception. Students from secondary schools across this country phone in telling me, can we come for excursion? I said, yeah, please come. please, you are invited. And when they come, I will first of all address them in this auditorium. Look at that dome. They come in there, we assemble them there and address them, tell them, they just come for sightseeing, and at the end, we allow them to go around. Look at this place. It's just for children and the whole vision. At the end, you see the children crying, they don't want to go again.
No one visits New York in the United States and misses the iconic Statue of Liberty on the harbor. Back home, Owerri is fast becoming a city of monuments, drawing both the attention of admirers and critics alike.
Zuma, the president that never went to primary school nor secondary school in his life. Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, the man that persists and never give up. Leadership quality, despite all the life challenges he has politically. Tafawa Balewa, a great leader that came for his people and died nobody, but gave up sacrifice. So we have leaders and these presidents have all come there. Many presidents have visited there and received this award. Many presidents.
Despite the outcry over the erection of statues at Hero Square, it has opened up the state to massive investment opportunities, adding that the Pan-Africanism of the square has expanded its scope beyond Imo State and Nigeria. Perhaps, if there is any take-home lesson in all of this, then it's the fact that seasons come and go. Ages pass and change, and at a time when legacies act as memorabilia for future generations. This could as well be a wake-up call in ensuring that the labor of the heroes past are not in vain.
I'm praying.